there we go. Our first little woodworking project. We're gonna have a go at making this funny little robot thing. All right, so what we've got here is just, what have we got? 4 little cubes, body and the head. And these 4 little cubes are roughly 20 by 20 mil. This big body bit here is roughly 40 by 40 square. And the head is about 35 by 35 square. All right, we're gonna make this out of, this is just a standard pine. You can buy this stuff at Bunnings. It is 42 mil by 19 mil, and we only need a 120 millimeter piece of this. We're gonna use shooting board and a tenon saw to cut the pieces out. We're gonna use a set square for marking. We've got files for cleaning up and a little punch for marking. We've got a bit of this cord stuff that we're going to use to join them all together, and we've just got a ruler, scissors and some pliers. We've also got a piece of sandpaper, just using 120 grit, 180 grit actually, just a little piece of sandpaper for cleaning up. And we need drill press with a 5mm bit in there, and we've also got a drill press with a bigger bit in there. That bit is, I think it's an 8mm bit. Okay, so we're going to mark off 20 millimeters, 40 millimeters, 75 millimeters, and 120 millimeters. I'm going to draw a line across the whole piece of timber with the square. And that will give us feet, hands, head, and then finally the body. And then we're going to cut those out on the shooting board from smallest to biggest. So starting with the feet end first. This piece is the head. I'm going to take 5 millimeters off the side of the head so that it becomes roughly square. Just going to mark this piece of timber at 21 millimeters so I can cut it in half. So that's 21 there. And then cut that on the shooting board. And then same again for the other piece. Now, if we get one of these feet or hand bits and we find the end grain, that's that in there, if we want to find the center of this piece, if we rule a line through the corners, where those lines cross, it should give us the center of that piece of wood. And then if we grab a punch and just give that a nice strong push in there, we can make a bit of a hole, and then that's where we're going to try and drill. Okay, so I've got my piece set up in the drill press vise so that when I lower the vise, the drill bit is gonna hit that part that I marked before. And so I'm just going to turn it on, so these are on, and then the machine comes on, and then you next click over, turns the machine on, and then push to stop. That's a kill switch. So and then we just repeat that for the 4 others. For the body here, I'm gonna come down 10 millimeters for the arm and leg holes. We'll drill those 2 all the way through. Alright, and to join the head I need another hole in the back here, so I'm going to draw another line just 10 millimeters in, and what I'm going to try and do is drill the hole. Right, so I'm going to clamp this in the vise on an angle so that when I drill in, I'm on a bit of an angle as well. So, just adjust this up. Drill down into that hole. I'm just going to do this slowly, bit by bit, so I don't drill all the way through. But I want to be able to get that bit of rope through. So So I can see the other hole in through there. So now I've also just got to drill a hole through the top. And that will be back over on the 5 millimeter drill bit. And this way, I'm just going to make it so that I'm just drilling just, I'll be sort of exactly in the middle, but maybe just a little bit behind, if anything. and that way my ropes won't interfere with each other. Okay, so now I have all my holes drilled. I've got holes for each of the hands and feet. I've got a hole in the head, and I've got holes for arms and legs and for joining the head as well. Now I'm just going to give that a clean up with some sandpaper and a file. I'm just going to knock all the hard corners off there and make it all a bit softer and rounder. So for the little pieces, the hands and feet, it is easier to hold the file still and move the pieces up and down the file. Next, clean up all the pieces with some sandpaper. Be sure to remove any pencil marks. Remember to always sand in the direction of the grain of the wood. Alright, and just put a little bit of effort into cleaning up those holes. It'll make it easier to get the rope in and out, and don't want those kind of edges there, so just bit of that kind of action. Make sure you get any pencil marks off. It's still got a bit of pencil on it, and I'll just give that a bit of a once over with sandpaper as well, and maybe the files some more. And same thing for all your pieces. Forgot to hit record there. So I'm just threading these through and assembling this fella with these are 200mm lengths of cord. So, and then just to get this through, just twist it as we push it in, and keeps a bit of tension on that and makes it taut so you can get that through. And then, hello. Yep, no problem. I'm just going to tie a basic overhand knot for that, so it's just the standard knot everyone knows how to do. And I'll just check this. You put this right at the end here and pull this nice and tight so it doesn't come undone, and then check that for length. Yep, they're all right. So 200mm is about right for that. All right, so I've got the hands and feet on, and now I'm just going to add the head on. Alright, so 300mm, that knot should fit in there. Yep, and then I'm going to put just another knot to space out the body and the head. So push that knot all the way down. Alright, so down the bottom there, nice and tight, and then put the head on. And then I'm going to tie a bowline. That's it. That's, oh, I'll run off the screen there. That's the bowline knot there. Do it again. So I've loop there, the loop. Note that the loop goes this way, so that's in front. Go through the hole, go around the back, and then go back up the way you came. And then there you go, that's a bowline. Now, bowlines are good because that knot won't slip, which means that loop will stay that size. Alright, just cut all the rubbish off the end of those knots. And there we go. All that's left to do is draw a face.